Standing room only here at the Riviera Lanes, and directly behind me a contingent of press, radio, and television people, and that means one thing, that something important here is about to happen. Here there were two inductees. There were some present and future PBA champions, Dick Weber, Carmen Salvino. Great winners, along with Earl Anthony. Waiting to see the two men inducted. Last week's winner, Petraglia, great Mark Roth. Dave Souttar with his first of two, a 16-time winner, sort of a PBA unknown superstar. And the second inductee was a man that we love at ABC, Nelson Burton Jr., youngest ever to get into the PBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Bo.
Thank you, Chris. That was quite a thrill. Great night. But you know, a thrill I've never had is one that one of the players is going to have here today, and that's to win the Firestone Tournament of Champions. We have a great field featuring 5 all-superstars. Steve Neff in the number 5 positions, trying to bail out a rough winner. He's going against the hometown favorite, Tommy Hudson. The winner of that match goes against the man with the big hook, the great ball on the tour, Jeff Mattingly. Watch out for him. And then semifinal match, a man who's won them all, but never a major, Dick Ritker, number 2. And the final match, George Pappas, led it from Wednesday morning till Friday night, but there's still Saturday afternoon. He's in the number 1 position.
See the breakdown on your television screens, 30, 17, 10, 7,500, and 5,000. Steve Neff going against Tommy Hudson in our first head-to-head match, live coverage. Not quite getting up into the pocket, leaving the 2-5 on the left lane, Bo.
Chris, as we said earlier, Neff was mired in a season-long slump, but he broke out of it with a lot of practice. He practiced all last week, and he's ready for this tournament. The thing he had to watch, he had to cut down his hook ball. He was hooking it too much, and he straightened it out a little bit today, and really looks good.
First appearance this year on the PBT. And remember, these are all winners. In order to be eligible for the Firestone Tournament of Champions, you have to have won an event, a PBA event. And now our first look at 31-year-old Tommy Hudson, who grew up bowling, as Bo said, on these lanes. 4th Tournament of Champions, finished 6th last year. Sliding by and leaving the 2 as we get a look at Tommy Hudson's profile.
Tommy with the real nice push away and extension. Cocks the ball with his wrist at the top of his backswing just a little bit to get it in position to unload or really put the wrist to it. And watch the tremendous turn he gets on the ball as he comes down through the bottom of the shot, hand going completely around the ball and stopping. See that thumb pointing down?
So our 2 players have marked with spares, some of the tension released now after each shooting 2 balls here.
Chris, you see Weeks average 219.4. That's for 48 games. The regular term is 42. But on the TV pair, Tommy has averaged 230 for his 4 games he's bowled this week on the pair. Steve Neff, on the other hand, has averaged only 202. So a 28-pin differential on this pair alone during the tournament.
Good frontal view of Tommy Hudson looking for the first strike of this first match live from the Riviera Lanes. Oh, a high hit leaving the 4, 6, 7, 10.
And there we go. Just go for the 2 of them.
By with it, leaving only the 10.
Right you are, Chris. Almost the same shot. Both players were light on their first shot in the first frame. The second shot, they helped it up a little bit. A little less speed, a little pull. Neff got the break, cutting through and knocking out the 4-7, or he left the 4-7-10 split. As we said, we don't expect super high scores today. If a player gets loose and gets going, he can shoot some big numbers. But once again, it's match game play. Just win 1 match at a time.
Cross lane for the 10. Well done. And Steve continued his follow-through as if it was his first ball in the frame. He thought he had it. Steve won 7 of his last 8 games to climb into 5th position Friday night, and I'm proud of my colleague, Nelson Burton Jr. Oh, you won 11 games in a row?
11 in a row
Moved from
19th to 7th. Love it. They're playing the outside line somewhere around the first arrow or the fifth board.
And that strike came for Tommy Hudson after an open frame. A strike in the third. Beautifully done. And now he'll move to the left lane, hoping to double to get 10 pins closer. 14 pins now separating these two. The winner to meet Jeff Mattingly, the winner of that second game to go against Dick Ritker, and then waiting will be the tournament leader, George Pappas, all trying for the $30,000 first prize. With the lead cut to 4 pins here in our very first game, our live coverage of the Firestone Tournament of Champions will continue. His best pocket hit of the entire first match with a 23-pin lead. Let's see the head-on approach to the line.
And you can watch the angle of Steve Neff. He's right between the first and second arrow. Those are the two arrows on the left side of your screen. Not much hook. Look at this good, strong release. See that wrist come through the ball? Look at that, about the 7th, 8th board. Tommy Hudson's a little wider. Needs this hit.
And a big double for Akron's Tommy Hudson.
As they always do in the Firestone, Chris, for the big money, the big pressure. The lead has been cut to 13 pins. Hudson's working on a double. He can cut Steve Neff's lead down to just 3 pins with a strike here in the 10th. Tommy has a possible 198. Steve Neff is currently going at a 191 pace.
Three-bagger coming at the end. The tree opens in his game. Now, only 3 pins separating these two.
And this is how Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. see the action with our statistician, Larry Lichstein, who tells me that with one more strike, Tommy Hudson can take the lead in this match.
We have an unparalleled view, believe me. Much better in some of our locations at football stadiums. Much closer, I should say.
If Hudson gets this strike, he'll force Neff to strike.
And a 10 pin as he was at the line, hoping, praying.
You can see how well Tommy trusted that ball. Way out and around. It did not finish quite enough. Here's Tommy's release. Now watch the little different trajectory that Tommy takes. Watch the left part of your screen. Outside the first arrow. See it? It goes way out towards the edge. Now Tommy with a spare will have 187 if he converts this 10 pin.
And the 31-year-old Ohio native with a 187. The loser of this match will get $5,000. To show you how it progresses, the loser of the next match will get $7,500. So, and of course, the winner keeps moving toward the $30,000 first prize. Big shot.
Steve Neff needs a spare and a 7 count or a strike on this ball to go on to the next match. Well-educated shot, Chris. He didn't want to go up high, left a simple spare. The situation is this. He needs to convert this spare and get 7 or more to win the match and go on to play Jeff Mattingly, who, by the way, if you haven't seen him bowl, watch out.
And now the pressure that the golfers feel on long putts. A single pin. Okay.
Steve Neff needs 7, 8, 9 or strike and go on to meet Mattingly. If he has 6, we have our first tie of the season. And by the way, Chris, we've had 2 ties over the period of years in the Firestone Tournament of Champions.
Then, if that happens, it would be a 2-frame roll-off. But right now, count the pins. All right. with only 3 strikes in the game, and it's $5,000 for Tommy Hudson. On the left now from Tacoma, Washington, big Jeff Mattingly. Where do you want to see him bowl that hook? Steve Neff now. He has that 1 win under his belt, Nelson. That has to help him. But I tell you, it's really hot in here.
Definitely, Chris. The outside temperature plus the pressure of the situation. Now, let's see if Neff's loosened up a little bit. Hudson and Neff were both very tight in the first match. The advantage has to be with Neff.
Crossing over and getting it. Well, he'll take it. All right, now, let's get better acquainted with 27 after you see it crossing over.
The old break. That'd be a great shot for Earl Anthony or Dave Davis, but not for a right-hander. It's just a great break.
225 pounds on a 5-foot 11-inch frame. 27-year-old Jeff Mattingly. All but the 10.
Almost unbelievable. A lot of players on the tour count pocket percentage, Chris, and they figure you can win a PBA tournament by carrying about 75% of your balls in a 1-3 pocket. This man here doesn't hit 75% of his balls in the pocket, but he carries about 90%. Unbelievable.
He is 0 for 5 in television matches. There you heard the thump thump on the spare shot.
He's got a big lead now. One more strike here would almost be the knockout blow for Steve Neff. And there it is.
There it is.
Mattingly should, in match game competition, just go for the 3 on the left. Save the wood count. He's got a double working.
Similar thinking on the part of Jeff Mattingly. All right.
Drastically changes the situation in the match. Neff, who is totally lost, has to gamble. He needs at least a double or a turkey to win this match. He's going at a 166 pace, but a turkey could pull him right up in that 190 zone and put the pressure on Mattingly.
Wobbly win in the first game over Tommy Hudson, 190 to 187. Thus, he is here in our second game, 8th frame.
Let's see what adjustment he goes with. Slow and a lot of hook, or speed and straight at him. Opted for the hook. Moved the outside shot, went way out and tried to hook it like Tommy Hudson did. 2-8. Double wood.
And, Bo, you have to be careful with this shot.
Yes, definitely cross lane. Chris, the center of the lane is slick, the back end very dry, so you have to be very, very accurate. It's like about an 8-foot putt downhill. There's the little break he didn't read. Once again, going across lane in a very competitive tournament like the PBA tournaments we have. He's using the 3rd arrow as we recommend. The ball looks like it's in good shape halfway down the lane, but watch this sharp break. Here we go. This week has been different than most of the other weeks. There have not been the tons of strikes. It's been the guy who can stay clean.
And up tonight, that man has been the tournament leader, George Pappas, leading after every session. He's in the wings, and Neff just can't believe the situation. Well, it's all there.
It's all over also.
Yeah.
The best Neff could possibly do is 165. Mattingly has this match won. He's going to go against Ricker. The only thing that Neff can bail out is maybe he can shoot the all-time lowest game. The all-time lowest game, Chris, I think is down in the 140s.
Right.
He does have a good shot at it. He's got 124 through the ninth. Mattingly, a good chance to loosen up. Just relax. This is his first victory on national television. He was 0 wins, 5 losses. He's going to add a 1 to the left column today.
But he had won the Tucson Open, which was not part of our professional bowlers tour telecast. Leaving the 8.
Mattingly's bowled an excellent game. Kept the ball in play, kept it light. Wins the match easily. He's going to be 180 or 190. Wife Debbie, she can start counting the dollars now because it gets bigger when you go in that second and first round match.
Neff will walk away with $7,500. Loser of the next game, $10,000. Loser of the last game, $17,000. And the winner, $30,000. Believe that final score, Jeff Mattingly, 202, and Steve Neff, a negative, low, 133.